it's Rob here. I haven't done much of anything over the last, well, maybe month. The last video I did was about firewood. So it's been a busy month. It's been a busy month at work, and it's been a busy month around here, and I quite frankly haven't had a lot of time to edit videos, and by the time I get in at night I'm exhausted. So today is going to be kind of an update, and it's going to be an intro into a video that I've been talking about for a little while. Before we bought this tractor, which is the 3046R, I had a little 2320 with a Curtis cab on it, and it had a heater in it, and it was fine, but it wasn't this. Midge and I had gone out and worked on snowmobile trails one day, and we had videotaped it when we first got the GoPro, and we had thought about maybe starting a YouTube channel for family and friends. And I want to play that today for you. So it's that little 23 horse tractor, and the day we had it out, we had the brush hog on it, and we were kind of cleaning up a snowmobile trail that was near our old house, and it didn't like brush hogging in four-wheel drive. What would happen is the grass would get wound up around that around the PTO that runs, or the drive shaft that runs the front tires, and that happened to me a couple times, and it happened to me on that particular day. So I'm gonna play a little bit of that and let you see what was going on back then. Today is a very snowy day up here. We had what I call like a Kansas snowstorm in Vermont. The wind was ripping, and we got probably 10 inches of snow, and I've got places where there's no snow at all in the driveway, and then there's a place where there's like a 4-foot snowdrift, and all around the house it's all drifted up, and it's gonna make for an interesting cleanup day, but that's not what this video is about. So with that said, I'm gonna let you look at the the moonscape that's our yard right now, and we'll fade off into brush hogging on a much nicer day. So here we go. Well, today Midge is along. She's gonna be running the brush hog for me, and I'll be following along with the chainsaw. We got the grapple on the tractor, so if we run into anything big, we should be able to
take care of it.
Yep. Got to be back by about 3:30 because one of my co-workers has purchased our fifth wheel, which is he's going to use it as a hunting camp. We're going to move it for him up to where his hunting camp's going to be. I think it's up on his brother's property right here in town, or just the next town over. So this is the tractor we're running today. This is a little 2320. It's just a 23 horse, but it does all right with the brush hog. I think we're gonna upgrade this here in the not so distant future to a full cab tractor. some blackberry bushes. Just trying to clean up anything that the groomer might get into this winter. It's a lot taller than the snowmobiles, so it can really get into hanging branches. And these little cherries are really bad about hanging down in once they get snow on them. They'll lean right down into the trail. It'd be kind of a pain in the ass for the groomer. Want to keep the groomer operator happy. They got a lot of money invested into those machines, and I know I wouldn't want branches scraping up the stuff. Sometimes it's unavoidable. We'll get a wet, heavy snow, which is great for snowmobiling, but it's terrible for the groomers. We have a great snowmobile club, bunch of hardworking people. Even the people that aren't from here, they donate a lot of time, which really makes the trails nice. And if you were wondering, this isn't my regular saw. This is just a saw that I bought for the Jeep. And since I messed up my shoulder, I'll grab it with the grapple, honey, and get it out of the way. It's you've been chasing it all day. Here, hold on to the saw and I'll grab those if you want to step down there. So I'll tell you a little bit about this tractor. I bought it, it was used. An old man had owned it and he had passed away and his wife didn't want it anymore. It went back to the dealership. And it came with a a cab with a heater, the Curtis cab. It has a 54-inch snow blower, and the bucket is basically what it came with, and a 54-inch mower deck under it. Then it had like 45 hours on it. I had a 45 horse McCormick, but that thing was crazy. It was a good running tractor. I think it had a Yanmar engine in it. But if anything broke on it, you had to end up ordering it from England. We didn't have a McCormick dealer. I think Rutland may have been the closest thing to it, and which is, you know, 2 hours from here. And even they had problems getting parts for it. The front drop shafts, I broke one on it, and it took them like a month and a half to get it. It was just craziness, and that wasn't even with COVID going on. So I can't imagine trying to get parts for one right now. So after that, I decided I'm gonna get something that I got a close dealership to, in the John Deere dealership. I know it's green, everyone says you're paying way too much for it, but they are the closest dealership we have, and if something breaks, I can go right down there and grab it. I've never had to wait for anything for it. And the tractor we're replacing this with is going to be a John Deere also, just for the same reasons. And we're gonna put this one up for sale after we get the other one. And to tell you the truth, for a 23 horse tractor, it really does a good job. We probably overwork it. Well, we learned a lesson today. We're gonna go home and do a little work on the tractor. What happened was we were brush hogging in four-wheel drive, and that front drive shaft picked up everything that was cut on the trail and sucked it right at in. And I was giving Midge a break from the, let's turn that right off, from brush hogging, and I noticed we were losing a lot of power. So I looked underneath, and sure enough, that drive shaft was just had grabbed everything up and wedged it between the tractor and that front drive shaft. Get out of here without destroying anything. Sand. Yeah, it's real sandy here. North Carolina sand, but sand is the same. Oh yeah, that feels good. So we didn't have the tools to really get that out of there, up there. Pulling it out was almost impossible. And it's tight. I have a little knife on my keychain that I use to cut the grass with, but man, it cut the grass, but it was still wedged up in there. So I think what I'll do is go home and get some vice grips and grab it and pull it out with the vice grips until it loosens it up. I get enough out so it loosens it up. We'll check in with you later. So as you can see, that was a much nicer day than today. The little tractor did great, but as I'm editing the video, I could hear that whining. You know, the hydraulics really whined bad on that tractor, and they always did. It wasn't anything that was wearing out when it only had like 45 hours on it. It still had that hydraulic whine that drove me crazy. So I don't miss that. Somewhere along the line, I lost the video of me pulling all that grass out of that front drive shaft, and it was a nightmare. I probably worked on that for an hour and a half. And I think it was just because that tractor was so low to the ground, it would just it'd start picking up grass, and it'd just wind up around that drive shaft, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. But other than that, it had that front end snowblower on it, and that was really nice. But in the wintertime, it turned it into just a very expensive snowblower because it was such a pain to get off and on. I think if I did a snowblower again, it'd be a snowblower that goes behind the tractor. So I don't know. I don't miss the old tractor. The new one is just so much better, and it's so much bigger, and it just fits the ticket. It doesn't work to do much of anything that we have to do. So the old one, that little 23 horse, was always struggling to get done what we needed to get done, especially when you put the skid winch on the back and you start pulling trees out of the woods. Oh, snowmobile. It really struggled with it. So much better tractor, but that little 23 horse wasn't a bad tractor either. Summertime, it didn't have air conditioning. That's really nice. So that was the day of working on the trails. It was kind of all over the place on the video, but I had like 12 videos on that day. I don't think I stopped recording all day, and I don't think you wanted to watch like, I don't know, 5 hours of us brush hogging on the snowmobile trail. So that it's just little snippets here and there of what went on that day, and a different tractor for the day. Anyways, I've rambled on long enough. Like, subscribe, and have a great day.